You saw an ad for a job in the paper. You're totally qualified for it and it's offering great pay. You go in, you nail the interview, and you're sure that the boss is ready to hire you on the spot. But it's been a couple of weeks and you haven't heard back, and you're wondering why you haven't heard from the employer. And you're also wondering whether or not they pulled a background check or a credit report that may have prevented you from getting a job. How do you know if an employer has looked at a background check or a credit report in considering you for a job? Hi, I'm Ian Lyngklip. I'm a consumer protection attorney from Southfield, Michigan, and I love my job. Every day I get to help real people with real problems, protecting consumers from credit reporting agencies, car dealers, and debt collectors. Today I want to talk to you about whether or not an employer may have pulled your credit report or background check. Now, first and foremost, background checks and credit histories are governed by the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and that statute gives you certain rights. When an employer wants to pull a background check or a credit report on you, they must tell you first before they're going to do it, and they must also get your permission in advance to look at that report. They can't look at that report and they can't access it until they have certified that they have complied with the statute and given you those disclosures. Now, if you haven't received those disclosures, been told that they're going to look at the report, and you still think that the employer looked at those reports, how would you know? If you suspect that an employer looked at your background check or credit history without your permission, here's how you can find out. The Fair Credit Reporting Act requires every consumer reporting agency to provide consumers with a free copy of their report upon request every year. So if you want to know whether or not an employer is checked, you can order a copy of your credit report. That credit report will contain something called an inquiry log. And that inquiry log will contain the identity of each person that has pulled a copy of your report for the preceding 2 years to be used in association with an employment application. So, by pulling all of your major credit reports, you'll have a pretty good idea of whether or not your employer has checked your background report or your credit history. Now, if you have questions about how to get your credit report, you can visit my website, www.consumerlawyers.com, and on that website we have a series of letters that you can use to order your major credit reports that should tell you whether or not somebody has looked at your criminal background history. So, why am I telling you this? Because if you're watching this video right now, you probably had questions about whether an employer was looking at your report. If you still have those questions, you can call me at area code 248-208-8864, or you can send your questions to info@consumerlawyers.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Ian Lyngklip. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you don't stand up for your rights, no one else will.